We love hip hop.
Let's get to what we got to get to. I want to start off with the passing of Afrika Bambaataa. All right. I don't know if I want to say R.I.P. Afrika Bambaataa, but because somebody has passed, we will say rest in peace, or I'll say R.I.P. And then you guys can fill in whatever you want R.I.P. to stand for. How about we do that? Okay. I'll pull up an article over here and let me just get all my screens situated and whatnot so that we can go through this smoothly. All right, uno momento. Here we go. So I have an article loaded up courtesy of The Guardian. All right. And let me know what you guys want to fill in the blanks for as far as the RIP for Afrika Bambaataa, because again, he is the founder of the Zulu Nation. He is a foundational member of our hip hop culture and the, I guess, the building blocks from the hip hop of our hip hop culture that we now benefit from. I got a whole show called We Love Hip Hop, so I guess in part I have to thank Afrika Bambaataa. But let's go through the article over here, courtesy of The Guardian. It says Afrika Bambaataa, hip hop pioneer, dies at 67 years old. The Bronx-born rapper and DJ helped introduce hip hop to the mainstream and was also accused of child abuse. Okay, so the American rapper and DJ Afrika Bambaataa has died at the age of 67. The musician died in Philadelphia around 3 a.m. local time due to complications from cancer, TMZ reported. The Hip Hop Alliance, a group headed by the musician Curtis Blow, wrote, "Today we acknowledge the transition of a foundational architect of hip-hop culture, Afrika Bambaataa. As the founder of the Universal Zulu Nation, Afrika Bambaataa helped to shape the early identity of hip-hop as a global movement rooted in peace, unity, love, and having fun." The group acknowledged that the allegations of child abuse made against the singer. At the same time, we recognize that the legacy is complex and has been the subject of serious controversy within the community. As an organization committed to the truth, accountability, and the preservation of hip-hop culture, we believe that it's important to hold space for all voices, while continuing to uplift what empowers and projects the people. The Bronx native played a key role in shaping the hip hop in the 1980s, notably with the 1982 hit Planet Rock. He collaborated with a range of artists, including John Lydon, George Clinton, James Brown. Born Lance Taylor, he formed the hip hop collective Universal Zulu Nation in the late 1970s, inspired by the father of hip hop, DJ Kool Herc, and as well as the solidarity of the Zulu Nation in Southern Africa. In 1982, Bambaataa began playing electronic music as part of the group EBN Ozen. He was inspired by the European electronic groups such as, I don't care about all of that. Let's get to the shit. Where is the stuff? Because they talked about... Okay, later in life, the musician was accused of child abuse and trafficking. In 2016, multiple Bronx men accused Bambaataa of molestation. The musician denied the accusation in statements, saying that they are baseless and cowardly attempts to tarnish my reputation and legacy in hip hop at this time. A man who said he was a former bodyguard for Bambaataa, I don't want to pronounce this name, Shafir Ali Bey, said he walked in on stuff where I say, what the fuck is going on? He traveled with late teens. Those were the ones he takes overseas with him. When I went with him on tour into the States, I would stay in one of the rooms where he would have boys in the room with him. God damn. In May of 2025, an anonymous plaintiff accused Bambaataa of 4 years of abuse, and which started in 1992 when the plaintiff was 12. Jesus Christ. The musician lost his civil case by default after he failed to appear in court. So with a lot of this stuff, like Bambaataa was kind of fanning this shit off. Like he wasn't really giving it a lot of, he wasn't taking it seriously as he should have. You know what I'm saying? There has been some people who have chimed in on this, obviously. Hassan Campbell has gone very viral for some of his crash outs. He was one of the most public figures who have been known to be one of the victims of Afrika Bambaataa. All right, and I'll pull up something from Hassan right now. Big salute to Hassan Campbell. Bronx River Poppy. Let's see what he's got to say about this.
I just want to take the time out.
Hold on, let me make a better picture. So let's go to his page and find a better picture. Let's go here. There we go.
I just want to take the time out to say, rest in peace to the greatest child predator who ever walked this earth, Afrika Bambaataa. Before there was the Epstein list, there was the Afrika Bambaataa's Black Book.
Facts.
Before there was an R. Kelly, my mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yeah. Yeah, before there was an R. Kelly, raised by Dr. York, one of the greatest predators that ever walked this earth. Rest in peace to Afrika Bambaataa.
Rest in peace, bro.
The greatest child predator ever. I'm going live at 5.
All right, salute to Hassan Campbell. And there's more. Let me go. I'll just show you guys my page where I'm running shit from. There's an interview that he did back in the days where he exposed this. Salute to Vlad TV.
Okay, so you've always seen Bambaataa around, but then was it around 12, 13 where you actually got sort of involved in Zulu Nation and started spending more time with them?
Yeah.
Okay. And what really led you to doing that?
Well, see, growing up in Bronx River and being a part of the Zulu Nation, you had a lot of warriors that was part of the Zulu Nation. It was guys that you really, really looked up to and you wanted to be a part of them. It's almost sort of like the gang culture that's going on right now. But the difference was you had some killers in the Zulu Nation. You had some breakdancers in the Zulu Nation. You had some rappers. You every once in a while you would see LL Cool J. You would see Ice-T. You would see everybody. So it's like now you got the. It's like right now going around Lil Wayne and Young Thug and all these younger ones right now. The kids is gonna go crazy. So now when you seeing, because it wasn't just so much about Afrika Bambaataa, it was about the family. Our parents grew up in the Zulu Nation, and you know it was the older generations, and now you get to see the warriors, and you just wanted to be a part of that. Like,
let me see if I could find some Zulu Nation stuff that's not in my links. Zulu Nation, Afrika Bambaataa. Maybe they'll have like Afrika Bambaataa So Sonic. This is the music video, but I don't want to play that because I'll get a heavy copyright. Oh my God, look at this. Afrika Bambaataa Zulu Nation, hip hop's first gay family documentary. Blood clot. Wagwan, what's this? Salute to Godly.
Bambaataa formed the Zulu Nation, a dedicated following of local hip-hop enthusiasts who organised parties and then put the money they made into community self-help projects.
You got to understand, you really have to understand that the Zulu Nation
Who's the
had
Fat Boy
originally been
Freddy?
the Black Spades. They were the biggest, most feared gang in the Bronx. I mean, they'd wear these denim jackets with the cut-off sleeves and fur around the collars and Black Spades written across the back. And this was before gangs had a lot of guns, so it was all about getting beat down with these and with sticks and with knives. I mean, it was brutal. And Bambaataa had the inspiration to stop this gangbanging nonsense, stop killing each other, and let's get creative. So he turned one of the most violent street gangs into one of the most
5 Freddy, Yo MTV Raps.
influential cultural organizations. His status was literally legendary. When you heard of Afrika Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation, there was a whole section of the Bronx that was under his command.
Well, the name Zulu Nation inspired me when I seen a movie back in the early 60s, which featured Michael Caine, called Zulu. That movie just stuck with me. It was just, inspirational, seeing the people of Africa fight for what was theirs. I said, one day I'm going to have me a Zulu Nation.
Look at those freaky youth, yo. Like, the man them used to wear some wild shit back in the 80s. Like, I was a little kid, so I wasn't a teenager or grown enough to have any fashion sense to be like, okay, well, can I get the leather feather vest, please? You know what I'm saying? Can I get some beads? Like, and I know this is like indigenous bead stuff and like he's wearing too, but like niggas dress like the village people. It wasn't just the village people who dressed like the village people. Everybody dressed like them niggas.
Bambaataa's personal conversion from gang leader to hip-hop DJ set a trend that swept the Bronx. Kids who would previously have joined gangs began channeling their energy into hip-hop, literally taking to the streets with speakers and turntables.
All right, so yes, so the forefather. Let me go back to this Hassan interview, and then we'll get to sorry, I'm just checking on our guest. Let's get back to this Hassan interview.
Like, for example, you don't really hear his name too much. B.O. was a big inspiration in my life that made me want to be a part of the Zulu Nation, and my big brother Jerry. These were dudes in that time that, real strong brothers.
Okay, so you started hanging out with Afrika Bambaataa. You're 13 or so at the time, and you said he was like a father to you.
Right.
And you didn't have your father around. He was in and out on drugs.
Right.
Okay. So at what point did it turn into just an innocent relationship to something going wrong?
Damn.
Yeah, where do I start with that? Is him being in the house, coming with the tapes, the VCR, the Vaseline, the porn, and it's like, oh, okay, this is getting weird. Like, I'll give you an example. What one day when me and Eric was there, and we in the office / workout room, the room next to the bathroom, 1609. So we in that room, and it's a weight bench in there, and me and Eric, we working out. We on the bench pressing. Bam comes in the room. He got the Polaroid camera. And now he's convincing us, oh, look at those muscles. So now he gassing us up to take our shirt off so we could flex our muscles.
No.
And when he walked out of the room and he started doing the clicking, he clicking with the camera. Me and Eric, we looks at each other, and he was like, yo, you seen that episode of Different Strokes when Arnold and Dudley? And it was the same situation with them, so that takes you back to one of our experiences with Bam. This is what he do.
What? Different strokes, different strokes, different strokes to the world. Different strokes through the world. Y'all remember that shit? Oh shit!
What we need is a Tarzan yell from you, Dudley. You know, pounding on the chest.
I do remember this episode.
He sounds like a dying water buffalo.
Mind you, Gary Coleman was probably like 25 at this point.
You know, what would really be terrific would be for Tarzan to have a lion to wrestle. Huh?
Mr. Horton, that's a great idea. I don't think this Tarzan could wrestle a grasshopper.
Hey, I got a great idea. Why don't I be the lion? And you take the pictures, Lionel, okay?
Okay by me?
You know how to operate that thing around?
Oh, yeah, sure. We have one of these at home, only more expensive.
I guess I'm the first semi-bald king of the jungle.
Yo, they used to get some messages, like real life messages that went right over my head because I'm watching this as a kid. I ain't even catching the jewels.
Why don't you hop on my back? Yeah.
No.
I'll pretend like I'm going to try and throw you there. I'm sorry I don't have a tail for you to hang on to.
That's okay. You can just wag your behind.
Okay, here we go. The old roar.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Enough.
Like, for example, you know, you don't really hear his name too much. B.O. was a big inspiration in my life that made me want to be a part of the Zulu Nation. And my big brother, Jerry. You know, these were dudes in that time that, you know, were strong, real strong brothers.
Okay, so you started hanging out with Afrika Bambaataa. You're 13 or so at the time. And you said he was like a father to you.
Right.
And you didn't have your father around. He was in and out on drugs.
Right.
Okay. So at what point did it turn into just an innocent relationship to something going wrong?
One day when me and Eric was there, and we in the office / workout room, the room next to the bathroom, 1609. So we in that room, and it's a weight bench in there, and he started doing the clicking. He clicking with the camera. Me and Eric, we looks at each other, and he was like, "Yo, you seen that episode of Different Strokes when Arnold and Dudley?" And it was the same situation with them, you know. So that takes you back to one of our experiences with Bam. This is what he do.
Nasty youth.
Okay. At one point, they
Rest in piss, brother.
actually start
Actually, fuck, brother. Rest in piss, you nasty old man.
to molest you, though, after showing you
Yeah,
tapes and so forth.
Absolutely.
At that point, you started to actually.
He follows you in the bathroom. Now when you go in the bathroom, he got to go in the bathroom with you.
What?
And he's peeing at the same time. It's like he's incredible. Now he's timing you going to the bathroom and pissing at the same time when he's pissing. Then he comes with the young men is supposed to jerk off, and then he leaves his room door open with porn playing, and he might walk out and then just have you sitting there. And then he leaves you with the porn playing. Then he turns around, and this is how you really like. He's bugged out, and you realize how sick he really is, especially when you think back. Now he has books, and in those black books, people you never think that you would ever even expect is in those books, butt ass naked. And when you look at those books, you actually looking at stair steps of the older generation before you in those books.
Damn, he kept the files.
And him catching all these guys at a young age.
Okay, are these people that we know about these days?
Well, some of them probably. And I know in the past I done threw names out, and I said I'm gonna try my best not to really call people out. But you know, in the streets, woo-wee. Like, yeah. I mean, the reality of it is, it's like this in Bronx River, and a lot of people don't want to admit it. One day, there was a fight, and I said this in my video that Star had put up. One day there was a fight going on. I believe it was a Roy Jones fight, and it was like 50 dudes inside the apartment watching the fight. So when I come in, I'm the last one to come into the fight. So somebody said to me, they was like, all right, Bam done tried everybody in this room. What'd he do to you?
Oh,
then the whole room bust out laughing. I started laughing with him, but later on, I was like deep in thought, like, this nigga got me. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of the people that, you know, in Bronx River, if it's 10 people in the room, Bam got 7 of them.
Oh, shit. God damn, bro. Hold on. What am I looking for? Hassan Campbell. Crash out. That's what I'm looking for. Where's that video? Is this the one? Epic crash out. Can I get a horizontal view of this shit? Whatever. We'll take the short. This is why he went crazy like this.
Y'all don't like me because of what I said. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ain't no fucking talking. Niggas don't like me. Step up right now. Everybody. Y'all don't like me because of what I said. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ain't no.
There's a longer version of this. Hold on. Let me make sure. What was the last thing I was looking at on X? Hopefully it's not no corn, so. Let's do this. Oh, I was grokking. I want to find the full video for that crash out. Hassan Campbell. Do me a quick favor while you're here and smash that like button so we can break the algorithm. And join the comment gang and subscribe. It's free. Damn. I was trying to find that video for y'all of him crashing out back in the days, yo. He went crazy. It's way longer than this little clip that they just showed right there. There's got to be a better one on here. But he went nuts. So I think it's... Is it this? Pissed. Pissed. Upset. Miserable. Hungry.
I don't give a fuck who got a problem. I'm here in Bronx River right now. Y'all don't like me because of what I said. Let's go.
Let's go.
Go. Let's go. Let's go. Ain't no fucking talking. Niggas don't like me. Step up right now. Everybody. Y'all support niggas that rape niggas? I'm not backing down from nobody. I'm in the hood right now. Let's go.
The reason why it's not about only Bambaataa of why he's going crazy like this is because of the hypocrisy. It's about all these other niggas who held him down, who didn't say shit. Niggas like KRS-One. I seen somebody in the chat like, yo, what did KRS-One have to say about this? Nothing. A lot of these old heads are hypocrites, yo. Don't get, as an old head, one of the only ones, to be honest, who's not a hypocrite. I keep it real. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the reason why niggas don't like me. I keep it too fucking real. I'll just say whatever how I really feel, or at least how I feel about shit on this microphone. A lot of old heads will push the goalpost, compartmentalize, do all type of shit to support their old fuckery ways or the people around them's ways. Like, yo, that's just how it was back in the days. Nah, back in the days, y'all niggas was nasty.
What I got to be cashy?
Oh, yes.
I ain't asked nobody.
This is around the time that the Cassie Diddy video had leaked online, and everybody got to see Diddy kicking the shit out of her and stuff, and they were like, damn, Diddy really is a monster. And this set off Hassan Campbell crazy, because he's like, yo, y'all niggas, I've been screaming from the rooftops for years that this guy raped me, and y'all ain't said shit. Y'all just like, ha 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 ha. That's why you act like that, Hassan. But you know, as soon as a woman says something, and with all due respect, as soon as a woman says this nigga kicked the shit out of me, a video comes out. Now everybody feels sorry for him or for her, but like the clown Hassan, like the man went through some real shit.
For 30 million or 50 million. Nah, fuck that. Nah. Nah.
Nah.
Nah. Y'all niggas support rape culture and this shit. Y'all niggas support rape culture and this shit. Y'all support rape culture and this shit.
This is definitely the video that's not getting monetized today. Somebody asked, and let me just, I pulled it up on the screen. Salute to Mike Fami. It says, but Friday, how do we know Hassan Campbell is telling the truth, or is he just saying things that interviewers want to hear so that he can grab a check? Because he wasn't the only one. Afrika Bambaataa got arrested at some point in time, or he got a civil case put against him. I think I had mentioned that in the article that I was reading. 1 second. Civil suits, I'll check out. He did speak on that himself, no? Afrika Bambaataa hip hop needs a coalition. Afrika Bambaataa hip hop pioneer dies. Disgusting behavior.
What's going on YouTube? Coming back at you with another video. So we have a real interesting situation going on.
This is against the John Doe.
Bambaataa and the
This is against the John Doe victim that never actually revealed the name. But check this out.
Zulu Nation are now named in this new lawsuit by a John Doe plaintiff. This actually speaks of some alleged disgusting, horrible acts. You have to remember at this point, this is all alleged, but this is the new paperwork. I'm going to break it down for you. We'll skip some of this stuff and we'll just get into what actually is important or what is being claimed in this. So it says from 1991, when the plaintiff was merely 12 years old, to 1995,
damn,
the plaintiff was repeatedly sexually abused and sex trafficked at the hands of defendant Lance Taylor. For those of you who don't know, Lance Taylor is Afrika Bambaataa's real name. It says, as a result of the passage of the CVA, Child Victims Act, plaintiff for the first time in his life can now pursue restorative justice. Plaintiff brings suit to vindicate his rights. So it goes down, the parties involved in this. You can read this, pause it if you want while I'm scrolling. I'll scroll slowly. But we'll get down to some more of this interesting stuff. We'll get right here. At all relevant times, plaintiff resided at Bronx River Houses, public housing provided by the New York City Housing Authority. At all relevant times, defendant Lance Taylor resided at Bronx River House is public housing provided by the New York City Housing Authority. At all times relevant, defendant Zulu Nation, Universal Zulu Nation, and XYZ Corp were headquartered inside defendant Taylor's apartment located at Bronx River Housing.
It kind of makes you think also, because the Zulu Nation, and I remember like hearing about Zulu Nation from when I was a teenager back in the days through A Tribe Called Quest, right? Jungle Brothers, different groups like that. You know what I'm saying? The whole native tongue movements, they were very, they were backed by the Zulu Nation, and they spoke highly of Zulu Nation. So at that point in time, was Bambaataa already known behind the scenes to be engaging in such lewd activities? Like, did Q-Tip know about this shit? You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Phife Dawg. Did Phife Dawg know about this shit? Was any of them man's victims? Because they're saying that there's multiple victims of this guy, Afrika Bambaataa, and the only person that we know about is Hassan Campbell, and this guy who filed a civil suit is a John Doe.
Upon information and belief at all relevant times, defendant Taylor was a well-known disc jockey, rapper, songwriter, music producer who is universally considered the father of hip-hop. Upon information and belief, defendant Taylor was the founder of Zulu Nation, Universal Zulu Nation, and XYZ Corp, international hip-hop awareness organizations. Upon information and belief at all relevant times, defendant's apartment within BRH was known as the Zulu Nation headquarters. Upon information and belief at all relevant times, defendant's apartment within Bronx River Housing was known as the Universal Zulu Nation headquarters. Upon information and belief at all relevant times, defendant's apartment within the BRH was known as XYX Corp headquarters. Upon information and belief, plaintiff met defendant Taylor in 1991. Upon information and belief, plaintiff was 12 years old when he met defendant Taylor. Upon information and belief, shortly after meeting defendant Taylor, plaintiff became a card-carrying member of defendant Zulu Nation and began attending Zulu Nation meetings at the Bronx River Housing Community Center.
Wow. So he puts these guys in the Zulu Nation. You get to be a card-carrying member.
Upon information and belief, shortly after meeting defendant Taylor, plaintiff became a card-carrying member of defendant Universal Zulu Nation and began attending Universal Zulu Nation meetings at Bronx River Housing Community Center. Upon information and belief, shortly after meeting defendant Taylor, plaintiff became a card-carrying member.
Why does he keep on repeating this shit?
XYZ Corp and began attending XYZ.
Go for it, bro.
Defendant Taylor's apartment, which was also known as XYZ Corp. Upon information,
is this a
stress, mental anguish, depression?
Okay, here we go.
Transport plaintiff to other locations.
Oh fuck! Okay, right here.
Videos while in defendant Taylor's apartment in his private areas while plaintiff was in defendant Taylor's apartment.
No. I ain't rewinding that part.
Upon information and belief at all relevant times, defendant Taylor eventually encouraged plaintiff to watch pornographic videos while in defendant Taylor's apartment and would also encourage plaintiff to masturbating in the presence of defendant Taylor while watching pornographic videos in defendant Taylor's apartment.
This guy.
Eventually, defendant Taylor began masturbating in the presence of the plaintiff. Upon information and belief, the sexual abuse at the hands of defendant Taylor progressed to mutual masturbation.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't want, no. That's too much.
Transport plaintiff to other locations and offer plaintiff for sex to other adult men.
This guy.
During said encounters, defendant Taylor would watch as plaintiff was sodomized by other adult men. This is absolutely disgusting. But you have to remember this is all alleged. But there's been a lot of allegations like this towards Afrika Bambaataa. So to me, in my opinion, where there's smoke, there's fire. But still, this has to go through the court process. So we'll see. Upon information and belief, the aforementioned events and actions took place between 1991 and 1995. As a direct result of the defendant Taylor's criminal conduct described herein, plaintiff suffered physical injury, severe and permanent emotional distress, mental anguish, depression, and embarrassment.
Keep in mind, this is the case that he didn't show up for. Listen to the details, how disgusting these details are. And this man didn't even take it seriously, bro. Rest in piss, bro. Worm food.
Plaintiff was prevented from obtaining the full enjoyment of life and has been unable to keep a steady job. As a result, plaintiff has incurred loss of income.
Okay, I know. It's like, enough. I see somebody in the comments like, enough. Stop. My ears. Hold on. Let me play one more clip. Then we're going to bring in our guest. And then after, we got a whole bunch of news stories that we do have to get to. So lock in. We're going to be here for a minute. This is hip-hop pioneer Melle Mel. And he's asked about a whole bunch of different things in his Vlad TV interview. But when they get to the Bambaataa part, watch how he starts. Turn to the Porky Pig. Watch this.
Okay, so now you're on Sugar Hill Records, which is, the first label with a hit song in hip hop. Yeah. Period. So, and they're signing a lot of the other groups, and you're just, one of many groups on Sugar Hill at this time. Yeah. So you guys started dropping singles, and I guess Freedom was the first single.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was a smash. It sampled "Get Up and Dance" by the group Freedom. Later on, it was actually sampled by S.W.V. for the song "Anything."
And actually,
Party Showdown.
Yeah. You got to do something, to stay in the trend where the music was going, and then that's when we did Scorpio.
Okay, and were you close to Afrika Bambaataa?
We all grew up together. Now, I'm not saying we was close because, see, what it was back then, it wasn't like it was beef, but it was always competition. So Bam was the competition. And we had healthy respect for him because, we had the Zulu Nation, you would do the anniversary, we would come, we perform, so we wasn't necessarily close, but we traveled the same circle. So we was good.
See, now you hear how he was just little bit choppy, but a little fluid in the way he was speaking. Watch when Vlad gets to the shits.
I mean, when you fast forward years later, when you hear about the accusations of Bambaataa, about the molestation charges and everything else like that, what's your take on that?
Well, I mean, it's not like people didn't know, or it wasn't like it wasn't it's not like it was something that was unknown. In other words, but it was just something that was like, maybe hip hop's best kept secret or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
I don't mean to laugh because there's actually real victims that are involved in this shit, bro. But like, this nigga is like, it's like it was hip hop's best kept secret. Like, why is that? How is that a thing? How is it that could be hip hop's best kept secret? What, the freaking child molestation is hip hop's best kept secret? What? Are we fucking serious right now? So none of you guys, all of you guys knew, but nobody said shit.
You knew, and you saying everyone pretty much knew that Afrika Bambaataa was gay.
It is what it is. I mean, you got people that would deny it. You got people that would say they don't know. I'm saying everybody knew it, so it was all right there. So I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, being gay is especially these days, is perfectly acceptable, not a big deal. But messing with underage boys is something completely different.
Well, see that part about it, you would have to interview him because our whole thing and my whole thing.
Yo, brother, get it together.
You him because our whole thing and my whole.
Mama say, mama say, mama kusa. Mama say, mama. This nigga went from Melle Mel to Poetic Flacco. But wait. Salute to my boy Flacco. But like, brother, the man asked you a direct question. You gotta ask him. Well, you can't ask him now. He's worm food.
See that part about it, you would have to interview him because our whole thing and my whole thing is like I said. Is everybody knew, It ain't like it wasn't like it was a mystery. Well, it was. Yeah. That's Bam. So
That's Bam. Right? That's how we summed it up. It was a mystery. That's just Bam. Like as if it was a sitcom. Oh my God, what are those kids doing coming out of your room? That's just Bam. Like, nah, bro. This is serious shit, brother. That's why when I seen that shit yesterday, I said, you know what? Salute to Hassan Campbell. His day has finally come where this man will have left the earth. Okay? I seen a few people, and we're going to get to the next story in a second. All right? Just give me a minute here. I seen a few people that were giving some respectful RIPs because I don't think everybody knew about the extent of how nasty this man really was. Okay, because I posted about it. I just put the peace signs as my caption. Afrika Bambaataa dies. No RIP. None of that bullshit. Okay. Road ready detailing, ready for the road. To Hassan Campbell is jumping for joy right now. Good riddance from Shot Review. Song choice is appropriate. What was the song choice? Can I hear it? How did that give me no audio? Anyways, I used the Na 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 song for it. Right, 416 Savage just put a praying sign. Like, I understand some people are not gonna like dance on the man's grave and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be respectful of the dead. But I got limits. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to being respectful of the dead. You could be respectful of the dead, even like of somebody who might have been a soldier out there in the field. He had to catch some bodies or whatever. But I'm not holding a place of RIP right now for one, the rapist and the child molesters. You guys immediately get a rest and piss. And nowadays, if you're just like a run-of-the-mill drill stepper, I got like 8 bodies, I step, I put in work. I'm not saying that you guys are exactly in the same category as the diddlers and the rats and them type of people, them, but you got to rest and piss too. I'm sorry. Okay. Friday is not here for you like that. Like, oh, salute to all the steppers. Yo, how many notches you got? Oh, you got 5 hats? Yo, you're a guy. Nah, bro, when you die, we ain't gonna miss you, bro. You're a deterrent to the earth. You're like a cancer to our society. If you're out here, one, dealing with the youth, them, and touching the youth, and if you're a murderer out here having multiple bodies, you know what I'm saying? You're no better than Jeffrey Dahmer to me. All of you guys could all rest in piss. You feel me? So, again, RIP to Afrika Bambaataa, and I'm not in the RIP in the sense. I mean RIP, and y'all do what you will, and we'll move on.
We
Thanks
love
for
hip
watching.
hop.
If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.